Do you want to do this? What? Wow. Who are you playing against?
First game was against Hannes, second game was against
Oh, shit, sorry. Do you want to take on it?
You got the other team.
Yeah, okay. I just have to look up, let's find out what welcome to our third game in the mixed division here at Windmill 2019. This is Hässliche Erdferkel versus SMOG. I'm Sarah Sparks and I am joined by the lovely Sean Colfer.
Hello there, how's it going?
Great, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
So, we are seeing SMOG coming out on offense with Lim on the disc, working it with Lee's affectionately known as Yellow. Hässliche Erdferkel coming out in a zone on the first point. This comes quite tight, still within 3 meters, but getting close to the SMOG handlers. Lees goes for a looping throw to Tate. Popping it up the field with Lamb. Big man call from Hässliche Erdferkel to transition. SMOG currently with the disc, just outside the end zone, losing a few yards, but okay with keeping possession. Oh, and leads with a beautiful put out into space for Jenny Lamb. Perfect offensive hold for SMOG to make it 1-0.
Yeah, nice play there from the English team. Moving around the back a bit, working upfield pretty easily against that zone. And once they transition into person, really, really clean, clinical offense and a really nice throw there from Lees into the end zone.
So, Sean, is there anything you can tell me about these two teams leading up to this game? Now we're in the third round of the bracket.
So, SMOG have played 2 tough games, 2 reasonably close games. I believe they played grouped this morning, but they got 1 win and 1 loss, I believe. Hässliche Erdferkel have a much more varied day. They we just talked to one of their captains who said that they've been seeded too high to start with. They won their first game 15-1, which is a good start, and they lost their second game 15-0. So it's been a day of real contrasts for them so far. Hopefully this will be a bit more even.
Yeah, looking at the rosters, Hässliche Erdferkel have considerably less people than SMOG do. Wondering how many people they may have lost to the Germany mixed team. Having said that, we join the action again with Erdferkel stuck in their own end zone. Moving out to the sideline, a big deep hook, but it's floating. And Carlo Hill under the disc, but just misreads it. Hässliche Erdferkel drive the end zone, a little bit of a bump on the mark, and play completely open and overthrown. Missing Franchini. Unfortunate there from Hässliche Erdferkel, could have been very easily 1-1, but just a little bit too far.
Yeah, it was a nice hook, but unfortunately just a little bit too far in front of them. They cut it there. That's hopefully something that they don't regret early on in this game.
So Hässliche Erdferkel once again going out in zone, wondering whether they're doing that as they have such a short roster. And it's a big hook here from SMOG. Got 2 receivers. Carlo Hill receiving it easily and going off into the hands of Oh, sorry, Tom Bennett. My apologies. Tom Bennett leading it to Ivan Malachinov. Great hold. I've probably butchered that. It doesn't matter. And that's 2-0 for SMOG.
Yeah, really unfortunate turn in the end zone from Hässliche. Really badly punished by SMOG. Big hut from Dumb Knight. Reeled in nicely by Tom Bennett. And, yeah, as you say, easy dish off of the score, really. SMOG have got an awful lot of players in this era.
Yeah, as you can probably see on the screen shortly, there is a good contingent of sideline for SMOG. I would say they have at least 8 or 9 players more than Hässliche Erdferkel. Having said that, SMOG's missing some very key players this weekend. Missing people like Tessa Hunt, Rachel Turton, big players in the mixed division. Playing GB Mix this season, decided to rest before EUC. And that pool from SMOG has just drifted out, and they are setting up in a vertical stack to be bricked.
SMOG lost a couple to GB Open as well. We saw Lexus Long and Steve Gilman in that last match.
Erdferkel leading a beautiful pass out to Turk. Doesn't see much option, but happy to swing the disc to Venna. A lot of contact there from the SMOG player, and maybe not a surprise to see a foul and contest call.
Yeah, I think Fraser's gone in trying to get the block, but as you say, there's a lot of contact there. Pretty quickly indicated he was not contesting the foul, Good Spirit.
Yeah, a little bit of a backpack there from McDonald's. I think a bit of a discussion coming in on 0. Oh, nice jig cut there from Turk. Happy to use those handler plays to get it into the end zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see more of that dominator style play from Hässliche Erdferkel. Now they're missing a few people off this team, but getting the holds and stopping the bleeding and making it 2-1.
It was a good hold from Erdferkel. They really needed to get a foothold in this game. They don't have very long lines, do they? There's not many plays they can bring on to change things. I like some people playing a lot more points than they'd like to in this game. But the handlers controlling the play really well there. A good cut up the line, nice jink. Just got the defender on the back foot and beat him to the front corner.
So now you'll see at home the amount of SMOG players on your screen. They have a good, I would say, at least 12, 13 people currently on the sidelines. A nice big roster for the whole weekend. Windmill's always a little bit grueling. The first day is grueling for the Open and the women's divisions. They'll have 4 games. Mixed tend to have 3 on day 1 and then 4 on day 2. So very long tournament. Easy to get tired, so always a good idea to bring your biggest roster.
I believe SMOG are doing pods, so some of their players aren't going to play in this game, but they're still here offering vocal support on the side.
So Lim centering to Lee's trusty lefty handler. For this SMOG, they've also had great success in GB Beach, mixed, finishing bronze at Euros. It's quite a team stag, and I don't really know what happened there, but Lee's went for a high release backhand. Jenny Lamb, absolutely no one in the vicinity. But I'm just wondering whether Lee's could have chosen a slightly more accurate throw, I would say.
She was absolutely wide open. That was very strange. I don't know where any of the defenders were because she had at least 20 yards of space, but yeah, perhaps a slightly unwise selection throw from Lee's. Doesn't matter anyway.
Nice D there from SMOG, getting the disc straight back.
Yeah, Harry Tidswell, I think, was instructed to come on to a switch by Lees. Got an easy block.
So stacked very deep at the moment. Lim's not happy with it, so she's happy to swing it back to Lees. Ooh, bobble catch, but manages to keep it in. Also wondering whether the disc got slightly tackled there. Oh, nice up the line cut, just shy of the end zone. Oh, and a nice cut up the line on Skip J. Lamb, but there's an injury call. Wonder whether this is going to go back. I don't know if she would have had a play on it, but probably.
Yeah, I think injury stops the play immediately, so it probably should go back.
Although, I guess at the same time, if you had no chance on the play and you call an injury, then it's entirely up to them. So there's a bit of discussion, confusion.
Everyone seems happy with it.
Yeah, I think she's just saying, look, I wouldn't have had it anyway, so that's a score. So the girls being very dominant for SMOG in this first point, first 3 points, and that is another hold for SMOG to make it 3-1.
That would be a very unwelcome injury, I think, for Hässliche, because that would leave them with 6 women against the SMOG team that has some very, very strong female players. I don't think I would like 6 of me running around against a lot of very, very good players on another team. So that could have quite an impact on this game. The Erdferkel player still lying on the sideline over there. But SMOG so far, dealing with whatever Erdferkel are throwing at them pretty straightforwardly.
Just having a quick look at results. So from round 1, we already know about Hässliche Erdferkel.
SMOG played a German team and won 13-9 against Sturmflut, and they lost to Black Sheep, the team from New Zealand that we streamed earlier on today in their second game. Another reasonably close game, 13-8, 13-7, something like that. So a win and a loss for both teams, but SMOGs were a bit more equitable than Hässliche Erdferkel, with 2 of the strangest results so far in the tournament.
Stack from Hässliche Erdferkel, really, really deep. Got some deep cutters just hanging out in the deep space, need to come back in to clear the space. Hässliche just very stagnant in the stack, don't really seem to have a lot of options, and a lot of it working through the bed at the moment. Oh, that disc is backed. Oh, and thought could have been collected there by Broxine, but just bobbled out of her hands.
Yeah, 2 consecutive matches from Erdferkel there. At the moment, Erdferkel, they seem, I know it's very early in the game, but they seem tired.
SMOG now with the disc centering pass. All the girls just dominating the matchups at the moment. They just seem to have the energy, like we say. Ackley, trusted handler, but that's a pick call. Ackley with experience from the youth scene, from under 20s. Played with SMOG and their world run in Cincinnati, and an unfortunate drop there from Tiff Anderson. Just bounced out of the hands, didn't have full control. Erdferkel with no dump and no choice, bit of miscommunication. Luckily picked up by the handlers. By the handling and the girls cutting, but they just don't seem to be able to get it to anybody at this point. Big, strong dump defense. Oh, and Conhill accidentally jumping on the ankle of the Hässliche Erdferkel player. Don't want to injure any more of them.
Your mother looks all right.
So, disc. No stack, the cuts, but then an undercut. Stuck on the sideline, looking to swing it. Oh, that throw just hits the ground so quickly. Bit lackadaisical, I would say.
It's a strange game for Hässliche Erdferkel so far. As you said, they're stacking very, very far away. They are not really clearing very effectively, particularly from the deep space, and their handlers are really struggling to get any movement whatsoever. SMOG's handler marks have been excellent so far.
Bennett with the disc. Oh, cheeky inside throw, and it just hits the shins of the SMOG player. Don't think she was fully expecting it. She wasn't entirely open.
I think that's just concentration there from Lejedinovic. He's tried to get that in there and it's just not put enough on it, and it's gone straight down rather than going straight to the chest of the receiver.
So timeout call. Muller just sits straight in the middle of it, starts grabbing his foot. Not ideal, as you'll see soon on screen, just the difference between the size of these two teams. Hässliche Erdferkel, what do you think that they'll be discussing in this timeout at this point, Sean?
They really need to discuss their offensive structure. Their stack is a long, long way away, and even when it's close enough, they're not getting very much movement from the stack. They need to clear more effectively. Their dumps need to kind of sort out their positioning and commit to one way or another. At the moment, there's some dancing around. There was a point a little earlier on, or a moment a little earlier on, where the dump had 3 or 4 steps each way. Carlo Carnahill didn't even move because the mark wasn't moving. You can't move your defender with those kind of steps, particularly at this kind of level. SMOG are a team that went to Worlds last year in Cincinnati. They've got a lot of players from that campaign, a lot of experience. Erdferkel at the moment are just off the pace, to be honest. They need to really step it up on both sides of the disc. SMOG, for their part, at the moment are doing well. They just need to make sure that they maintain that concentration all the way through. Lee's throwaway, that throw into the end zone there, it's just a little bit of forcing it, losing concentration a little bit, seeing you have an advantage and trying to take it as quickly as possible rather than taking it at the right time. So both teams have got things to work on, but at the moment certainly SMOG have the upper hand.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's really easy when you're playing against another team who may be less experienced or making lots of turnovers, that it's very easy to play at that level. So I would totally agree with you. I do think that SMOG just need to find that intensity that they're used to, playing really high efficient ultimate, high level efficient ultimate. So Hässliche Erdferkel coming out of the timeout in a vertical stack, looking for a deep option, and there is no one home. Miscommunication completely. Clearly chose in the timeout that this person was going deep, and he just hesitated. It was good coverage from SMOG.
That is a real pet peeve of mine, coming out of a timeout and just slinging it away on the first second of the stall count. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If they've called a play, they need to execute it.
So there seems to be a call, but I don't know what's happened.
The disc went down and rolled out, and it rolled out further back than where Hässliche picked it up. She's picked it up and tried to play from there. I don't know whether the Erdferkel player has said she needs to go back. The difference is about 5 yards. It's not a great difference, but it did roll out further back than she is.
So currently set up in a horizontal stack, but the third handler is in the lane at the moment. So Knight doing the right thing by dropping backwards. Vladovic completely free under, finds Knight, still free, decides to go for the deep shot but not seen, skips Hässliche, goes to Carnahill. SMOG using this efficient give and go. One of the newer players from SMOG, unfortunately do not have her name on the roster, and Anderson plucks it out of the sky with authority, making up for that drop earlier in the point, and that's another break, 4-1.
Yep, Bennett to former Relentless player Tiff Anderson. Really easy score in the end there for SMOG. You can see they're dictating the play when they have the disc with ease. Erdferkel are really struggling to put any pressure on them whatsoever. It's at the moment a real struggle for Erdferkel to move the disc, and then when they lose it, they are really struggling to get it back. So hopefully they can sort things out, they can change some things and make this into a more even contest, because at the moment it looks as though SMOG are going to run away with it, don't you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I can't help but feel that Hässliche Erdferkel are a little bit tired at the moment. You can tell just from the mistakes they're making, the miscommunications they're having, the way they're walking to the line, they are a bit tired. So it would be a shame. I would really just like them to find some form of energy. As we say, it's Swiss draw, every point counts. Game isn't over until it's over. It will work in their favour to try and get as many points on the board as they can.
Considering it's the third game of the day and they've got 4 games tomorrow, the fact that they already look a bit leggy is inauspicious.
So disc rolls out. Looking to just work it with the handlers. Stack once again, very deep. He's getting on a style. Oh, and it's Callahan! Oh, and a nice little celebration. Can't quite see who caught that, but oh, great handler defense there. Just turned around right at the good moment. We'll probably see it here again on the replay.
It's Ollie Gray, I believe. That's a really, really good bit of D from the former Manchester player there. Just putting himself in between the disc and the dump and snatching it away for the first Callahan I've seen in this tournament, actually.
First Callahan I've seen, also first Callahan on the stream, I believe. So great work, Ollie. As we see here on the replay, doing a bit of face marking, but just turns around and just pinpoint moment to turn around and just stack the disc. Great, great work, and I'm sure he's going to be watching this back later, skipping over 20 minutes into the game to find his Callahan on the stream.
It's remarkably quick reaction. He's turned around, he's snapped his head around and just popped it out of the air.
So let's see if SMOG can pull off another Callahan. That's also credit to a really great pull. And Lee's also with a fantastic pull, arcing. Ooh, nearly dropped. Nice inside throw to bring it over to this side of the pitch. Calls from sideline. Make it work, Harry. Keep going, Harry. Really working on the handlers and a great D there from, I believe that's oh no, it's Harry Glasspool. Cutting up the line. Hard to see, they've all got caps on. Can't quite see their faces.
Now that ginger hair's covered up by a black hat, it makes it much more difficult to identify him.
Glasspool going deep. Tiswell just goes for it, but it's too bladey, and Glasspool had already decided he was going to come back under.
Yeah, Tidwell looking for the Harry to Harry connection, but Glasspool unfortunately had just turned around. But the way that SMOG have been playing and the way that Glasspool and Tidwell played on the mark, on the handlers in that last possession for Erdferkel, makes you think SMOG could get this back sooner rather than later.
Erdferkel swing the disc out to what? Quite a nonchalant pass. And a big hug that's going to the right. I can't help but think this is going to die, but oh, well collected there by your Tigers. And that's in, just in the corner.
Yeah, that throw was when it came out. I thought it was going to be drifting too far and SMOG were going to get a good bid on it, but Lees can't quite get the nice catch from the Erdferkel receiver there. And Erdferkel, for their part, really needed to get that point because they've been struggling to generate any offense so far. Look at it here now. As you see that throw as it comes out of Muller's hand, it looks to be drifting all the way to the far right sideline. But it's a really good catch. Nice cut up the line. How close does Lees get here, Sarah?
Pretty close. I actually think if he had gone for the swap with his left hand, he could have had much more closer contention. He seemed to go for it with the right, which is a bit odd, so he has to go over across his entire body. But never mind, it's a new point. Good to now see SMOG coming out on offense, as we haven't really seen that in this game yet.
You see the GB Open SMOG contingent watching in the dugout over there. Conrad Wilson, Alexis Long, and Steve Gilman all watching this game.
Disc is centered to Ackley, coming straight out in a kind of zone, quick transition. Got somebody completely free deep. Sarah Ladd streaking. Ooh, thought there was going to be a bit of an accident, but well collected by Knight. Still paying attention. There's a foul call. Hässliche Erdferkel player saying he was pushed. Good reactions though.
Very good. It looked as though Ladd pulled out because she thought she was going to be ploughed by somebody, but she pulled out and Dom Knight managed to clean it up behind. So it was, as you said, it was almost a bit of a collision there. 100% sure where the contact was, but
towering the skies there. Great grab from SMOG. And just easy offense, and that's what we need to see from SMOG, and this is what we're going to be looking for, especially as they go deeper into the tournament.
yeah, they're going to be looking to get Bennett on the disc as much as they can. He's a world-class thrower, can throw it from anywhere on the field. I think he let that throw get away from him a little bit, but Mladenovich has gone up and pulled it down. Really, really good catch.
So I'm just having a look at the roster and I'm trying to figure out who's not been playing. As you mentioned earlier, SMOG have pods and cycling people through. Don't believe I've seen Ava Grossman on the... Oh no, she's on the pitch now. Take my words back. This is also, we're seeing people like Heather Williams for the first time in the game.
So, yeah.
Also, I think Gigi Morrison, who's also on the pitch, hasn't had that much pitch on
No,
yet.
she
So
hasn't.
maybe they've decided, scrap the pods, we're on the stream, let's get everybody on here. But definitely the people currently on this line have probably played a little bit less than everybody else. Doesn't do you any harm though.
Get them on for the parents.
Make mum and dad proud.
Exactly, exactly. Well, it's a bit nicer here than it was earlier, Sarah, I must say. Last time I was up here, it was very grim. But
Yes. So for those who have not been joining us all day, one, where have you been? And two, it was absolutely chucking it down. Absolutely tossing it down. However, there was no wind at that point. Whereas
True.
now it's kind of been complete flip reversal. Now we've got quite a lot of sunshine, but wind. You can't win when you come to Amsterdam.
no. The wind isn't too bad, a little bit side to side. I don't think it should really affect teams of this quality.
So McDonald saw that coming a mile off.
Stay on the sideline.
Grossman getting that disc out to the big deep hug, and it's really well read by Higginbotham, ex-Sheffield University player.
Go Fatheads.
Go Fatheads. Both commentators also used to play for the University of Sheffield. Feel very strongly about that team. SMOG content outside the end zone, and there is a pick goal.
They're going to need to sort out that stack structure. They are a mile away from Ollie Gray with the disc.
Gray with the disc, had the Callahan earlier in this game. Goes for a fake, doesn't like what Grossman is offering him. Higginbotham doing a Z cut. Morrison nearly getting that one in the face, having great reactions and a lovely inside throw. Once again, can't really see who that was, but great offense after the turn from SMOG, and SMOG are just running away here.
Yeah, they are. It's, at the moment, difficult. Every time SMOG get the disc, it looks as though the only thing that's going to stop them is themselves. Erdferkel are not getting in positions to get blocks at the moment, and the way the game is going, and as you said earlier, the way that Erdferkel are wandering about the field when they're not on, it doesn't look like they've got the energy at the moment to pick this back up and get back in the game. But we've still got plenty of time left in this game slot. They can still come back here.
Could still come back for sure. The rules have changed this year ever so slightly, so there is no cap +1. So at the end of the game, if that is the who goes in that point, you finish the point, game over. So they don't want to have too much of a points difference, because that makes the comeback a bit unsmartable. So big pull from Lees, arcing back into the end zone. Collected by Erdferkel.
Away now, Bella, you've got to catch up.
Swinging between the handers, looking for a deep continuation. The hook goes. Oh, it's led out. It just bobbled. Great cut from Beagle. Just doesn't have the energy to get that hand around the disc.
It was nicer offense from Erdferkel, getting a handler into a power position. A good deep cut, just a little too far. Can't quite reel it in with that left hand. It was a difficult catch in the end, but perhaps earlier on in the tournament or with a few more subs, she'd have been able to reel it in.
So you've got two people going deep, and they're now very deeps. Jenny and I needing to come inside. calls of you're in. So it's throw to Greer. Greer doesn't see anything he likes on field. Tashalim in the open space and needing it out for Jade Lambert. Luckily she's really quick, but she hesitates, thinks she sees the rugby post and just decides that she'd rather not clatter into it full force. But
for a player of Harry Glasspool's quality, that is scarcely believable. It was wide open into the end zone, but she's done a really good job chasing it down, but can't quite get there.
So SMOG looking for a turnover right nearby Erdferkel's end zone. Lots of calls to stay under the women, let them go deep. Tight defense in the end zone again. It's just too far.
I'm not sure how many of these players, I don't know Hässliche very well, I don't know how many of these players have played on the team when they've been in these big, deep European Championship runs, because it looks as though some of these players are just throwing it slightly too far for their teammates, whether this is a cohesion thing, whether it's playing with different people thing, I'm not sure.
And just an open side cut there from Tidswell, totally open to take that to half. I'm wondering if this may be just a smaller contingent of the World's team, or whether it's actually maybe a second team of Hässliche Erdferkel. Hard to say, but the performance we're currently seeing is just tired at this point.
It certainly is tired and a bit off the pace that I'm sure they'd like to be playing at. But SMOG, full credit to them, they're keeping the throttle down, they're continuing to put everything they've got into all these points. As you said earlier, Sarah, Swiss draw means that every point counts, and they're really putting Hässliche Erdferkel to the sword here and helping their Swiss draw no end.
So they are taking the half time. It's only a 2-minute break, but we will also take a little break here just to get some water, and we will join you again shortly. That just landed between my earphone and my cheek, and I just went, I didn't know what it was. I got it back there, and I just yeah, you're not making our lives very easy.
Yeah, with no numbers. We're very distinguishable.
We're going off.
It's very easy.
We're going off.
We're very variable. The reason we're It's on the way.
It was ordered as of yesterday.
There's numbers on a few.
You should know all of us.
The celebration is.
I know. Well, we know most of you, but you got a few new additions.
There you go. Fine.
I know your name. So you, I got you, bro. I got you. I've got most of you, to be fair. Who? Who? Who's Steedman? Which one's Steedman? Yeah, but I didn't know who Tidwell was, but now I do. Oh, the one but next to the Hässliche Erdferkel player between Lim. Okay, yeah. No, not yet, but will be. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. So welcome back in this mixed game here at Windmill 2019, the 15th edition of Windmill. Here you will find SMOG hailing out of the UK versus Hässliche Erdferkel from Germany. My name's Sarah Sparks, and I'm joined again by Sean Colfer.
Hello, Sarah and I are tent buddies this weekend because I did not bring one, and Sarah was kind enough to let me stay in hers.
And that is it. We are only tent buddies. We're not friends.
We're not friends, no. We've known each other for nearly a decade, and all of that time has been dreadful.
So to start on a positive note, Hässliche Erdferkel come out on offense. Oh, and straight away, D snagged away by Tom Bennett. He says no. Oh, and a nice D there from Hässliche Erdferkel. That was just a little bit too nonchalant from the SMOG player. Erdferkel getting into the danger zone, similar to last time. It's so close to a Callahan, not quite this time. They've already had one Callahan this game. What are they going to do now? Disc dies off towards our side. Fakes a deep hook, but doesn't like it. Once again, big deep fake, not coming. Girls are very well covered deep. Oh, once again, Bennett just slapping it out of the hand. Not got under control, so it's fine. It's not a strip, but Bennett is not having it in this point.
No, like even the D from the Erdferkel player there, I think the throw gave the defender a chance to get back into it. Bennett has been excellent so far in this game. He's been getting free on every once. He's an excellent thrower, but 2 blocks and 1 point here.
I believe Bennett was also one of the highest scoring stats people at Worlds. Doesn't surprise me given his caliber. SMOG giving and going. Knight leading the disc out to the sideline. Bennett not a fan. Lots of give goes here with the girls. Oh, nice grab there from Sarah Ladd. Nice and easy after the little blip after the half. SMOG show their authority and score to break 9-2.
Break coming out of half. Really, really efficient point overall from SMOG. They got the disc back pretty quickly after, well, they got the disc back immediately on that first point and on the first turn. And second turn got it back pretty quickly. Offensively, they're getting what they want at the moment. They're able to keep it moving around the back and wait for that opening to come upfield. It's been coming so far with some really good cutting, particularly from the women. As you said earlier, Sarah, they're really making good use of the women.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate always in the mixed division, so what makes you a good mixed team, and what I've always been told is your women. If you can use your women effectively to dominate your matchups on the field, then you are a good mixed team. And I do think that SMOG in particular are really good at using their women. Not just here, I've seen them at Worlds as well. I commentated one of their games. They know each other by like the back of their hands. So it's really nice to see such effective mixed play. Do hope that Hässliche Erdferkel can get it a bit more to their women. I think they're just a little bit tired, and I do think the defense from the SMOG ladies is just clamping down, giving them no option. So Erdferkel drifting it out to handlers, big fake, doesn't come. A little bit static from Erdferkel. And a few mistimed cuts means the handlers could only really give it to each other. Hässliche Erdferkel, nice inside throw. Not got much continuation. Once again, the handler's dancing, and oh, once again, a really nice D from Ollie Gray. Having a great game on defense.
Yeah, a lot of that work was done in the 3 or 4 seconds prior to the disc going out. Absolutely shut down that dump mark. Nowhere for him to go. As you saw there, Hässliche Erdferkel really looking to working through their men and weren't able to get free. I don't think the women touched it there on that last possession.
So pit called here on David Steedman. Disc has been checked back in. Bit static at the moment. Girls also not doing a huge amount from the SMOG line, but Heather Williams, always a very trusty cutter for this team. Swinging the disc. Ava Grossman realizes she's free, but doesn't really know how she can make that use of cut. It's just super calm and collected by SMOG. I just think that this is the ball's in their court, the momentum's with them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this game finishing slightly earlier than time.
Certainly the case at the moment that they are able to do whatever they want. Breakthrough there from Molly Gray out to Stephen. Pretty easy score. At no point did it look like they were going to have much pressure on them. Didn't look like Erdferkel were going to get a turn on that point. It's tough. You know, I'm sure we've both been in this situation. People watching have been in this situation when you're a team that's down. You're down by a fair bit. It's tough to kind of get your head back up and get back into this game. But Erdferkel have got to do it. It's going to really affect their Swiss draw standings if they are beaten 15-1 in their last game by France mixed, and they're beaten heavily by SMOG as well here. That would be a tough thing to come back from. It's going to plummet them down the standings after such a resounding win in the first round. 15-0, sorry, over France mixed in their last game. So on a 25-2 run at the moment, so last few games, Hässliche Erdferkel. Not great.
No, not great at all. Not appealing. 15-0 loss at Windmill. It's not something you see very often here. Whilst we have a lot of teams of national team caliber, that you've got high-level mixed teams, you'll always have your party teams, but even then, the party teams are also quite of a high-end level, and then you'll just go way too crazy in the party and beat team will go over to play the next day.
Yeah, this is a team with real European pedigree. Hässliche Erdferkel played in the latter stages of European Championships. They played at Worlds as well, so it's a surprise to see this game unfolding as it has.
So Erdferkel once again working it through the handlers. They don't really have that much continuation through the women. Oh, and a hook goes up. Tidwell's in way better position for that read. Nice grab. Stifle but throws it to the open swing of Tate. SMOG women now going to work. Big looping disc. Ooh, nicely taken there by Lees. Glass ball open, but Tidwell's too far deep. Nice patience here from SMOG. They're not forcing it, and as I say that, Tom Lees goes for a big put, but it's not forced. It's a good option. Harry's just outside the end zone. Harry Glasspool fakes off the dump and finds Jenny Lamb all by herself in the end zone.
That time able to successfully hit Jenny Lamb when she was wide open, so that's good. Improvement here from SMOG. But on a serious note, it's a really effective offense. Working it really patiently until Lee spots an open option downfield. And then the support for Glasspool when he caught that disc was excellent. Immediately surrounded by 3 SMOG players, all offering him options. He waited intelligently, didn't throw into a trailing block from an Erdferkel player. Waits for someone to be wide open, and eventually Jenny Lamb's wide open.
Yeah, we see here on the replay the option to Glasspool. Put the disc nicely out in front of him, so no chance of a Hässliche Erdferkel player getting close.
I don't know if we'll see a replay of the turn as well from Erdferkel, but I think it kind of highlights what we were talking about. I know they're down and they're trying to get points quickly, but Erdferkel look as though they're throwing into the end zone to a very well covered male player when they definitely had a female player come under into the space with a trailing defender. She was open for that throw. It's just those split-second decisions, the way that you're looking to run your offense makes a big difference. These things add up, and they snowball. And at the moment, that avalanche favors SMOG.
So pull from SMOG goes out.
Let's see if Erdferkel can get that offense moving.
So high loopy throw, nicely collected there by Vigor. Quite tight defense from Bennett. Vigor is still free, but it isn't thrown to. It's in. Working really hard. Vigor coming back for that disc. Handler cuts up the line and goes for the throw. Thought that Anderson had that well covered, but it's too far out in front for Erdferkel. This is just the tale of this game, just overthrows and throws into closed players, so to say.
Yeah, Anderson had a really good read on that. She just came underneath. I think it was close. She would have had at least a layout bid on that. But Erdferkel still struggling to sync up their cutters and handlers, get that offense moving. Let's see how SMOG do here. Big hook here.
Big hook here that looks like it might be dying off to the left. But Bennett, how on earth did he catch that? And then just whips it in for Lad. Also really good defense there by the Hässliche Erdferkel player to also get a hand to it, but that was insane.
That was a really good catch because it looked for all the world as though Bennett had completely given up position there. I mean, when it's going deep, Bennett is one of the better athletes on this SMOG team. Dom Knight has clearly chosen his receiver, but it looks as though Bennett let the Erdferkel player overtake him. He got a really good read on it, put a really good bid in, but Bennett has pulled one out of the bag there. Really good catch, and nice easy throw again at the end.
So I'd like to see this on the replay, don't know whether we will, but it was a really great grab there from Bennett. And here we go. My wish was my command.
Goes up early, doesn't he?
Great grab.
So it's 3 points to the end of this game. I think SMOG are going to be looking to close this out nice and quickly. This is the last game of the day for the mixed division. So I think it's going to be beers o'clock as soon as they finish this game.
Definitely think Tom Lees will be buying Jenny Lamb beer for that interesting throw at the beginning of the game. Goals completely closed off in the cutting space, having to use the handlers of Hässliche Erdferkel, but they're also just totally tight. And ooh, good pressure there from Grossman. Just a little bit late there. Happy to dump it backwards though. Thought Stemmer was going to pull the trigger and he goes for a deep shot. Oh, unfortunately that's sailing out, but I also would have somewhat doubted whether that would have been caught. Heather Williams is so quick. And that disc did not come back in, so this disc will be coming all the way back towards SMOG's end zone.
It's a really, I think the toughest throw that you can get is that flick, huck, same third throw. It's so tough. There's such little angle. You've got to put a lot of outside in on it, roll it back in front of your receiver. It's very risky when you buy your own end zone. Erdferkel was stacking so far away there. They were leaving themselves with so few options to move it around. So now a really dangerous opportunity for SMOG.
Yeah, Gigi Morrison, also known to be behind the mic in the commentary booth with the disc. Swings it to Williams, more known as a cutter, but working on her handler skills in this game. He's a boy completely poached, but Morrison's still free. Faked off, looking for Grossman. Nice stutter step cut there from Grossman. Needs to pass out to McDonald, who goes for a cheeky hammer. He's got a choice of two, but leaves it to Higginbotham. Nice offensive. Chillness is not even a word. Even I'm getting tired. Just chill.
Calmness.
Calmness, thank you.
Yes, it was, and also good communication because two people there underneath that throw as it's just drifting in with no defenders around. That's the kind of place where you can get miscommunication. You can get two people going for it and knocking it away from each other. Good call from Higginbotham in the back. Really good throw from Fraser McDonald. And some good handling there by Ava Grossman and Gigi Morrison. Some poachers all over the place. Had to be patient, had to work it around a little bit until they got that opening. But 13-12 now to SMOG. We are 2 points for SMOG away from beers o'clock.
Yes, and knowing some of these people on this team, I think regardless of where they finish in this tournament, even if they're going for top 8, they are also going to go for beers o'clock.
Not that we would, Sarah. Hard-working media professionals
Never.
As we are.
Never touched alcohol in my life. nearly kicks on his own disc. That disc is rolling to the back. Luckily, it is going out to the back. Before he'd even kicked it that way. That would have been very unfortunate.
Lucky, lucky boy. I thought he touched that.
Erdferkel, nice grab from Erdferkel. That disc going out and it's out. It's unfortunate, that was the first female-female continuation I think I'd seen for a while from Hässliche. Just happens to go out the pitch.
Really nice spirit from Weinreich though. Immediately gave up the disc, knew she landed on the line.
Graspel cutting for the inside backhand throw of Lee's, that lefty. Tate doesn't see anything she wants, she's going deep instead. Here's an option, but one of the boys decided to hang out deep. Oh, I thought there was going to be enough reaction from Tate to catch that disc, but one of the Hässliche Erdferkel boys decided to hang out in the lane.
It's the first time really that for a while that SMOG's structure has fallen apart and then let them down. They were really not clearing out that open space very well, and a couple of poach opportunities for her to recover.
An errant swing pass, even nearly going into the bouncy castle off the field, gives SMOG prime opportunity to get this point in. Lee's with the disc, probably going to go for an inside backhand as a fellow lefty would. Oh, and a really nice snag from Alex Greer in the air. 14-2 for SMOG.
It's a kind of celebration that would get him in trouble if he was an American female football player. 14-2 now, 12-point lead. SMOG have been very clinical, haven't they, Sarah? They've been really, really good in close to the end zone situations where they've had to execute. They've done a very, very good job of keeping calm and waiting for the opportunity to present itself.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, it's very easy to play at the level and the energy of the opposing team, but I do think that SMOG turned that switch and decided to play their own game. I think that shows real mental strength from a team that decides to do that. Well, not decides, but just can turn that on. I know I've been in games where you're winning really easy and then you suddenly open the door to let somebody come back in.
Yeah, it's very tough to do to maintain it when you're not being pushed. The only people pushing SMOG at the moment is themselves, and they're doing a really good job of keeping that intensity up. We've seen games already in this tournament. Ireland Mixed were 8-1 up in their first game and ended up winning that game 12-8. They let the team back in, so it's really, really difficult, even for teams with the highest quality, to keep yourself going when it's just yourself forcing it.
First pass layout D. Oh, what great work from SMOG, and we were just saying, got to start with the intensity you want to play. Oh, game over. Bookends there for Magdalenovic. Can't say his name.
we butchered that all game.
Didn't tell me how to pronounce him prior to the game. Going to butcher it. That was just authoritative from SMOG. Have you got any last words after this game?
SMOG played really, really well. They kept their intensity high. They kept their execution and concentration high. Difficult to do in situations such as the one they were in. But they played a very good game. They really deserve that win. They deserve the margin that they've got. I'm sure they're looking forward to what will probably be a tough game, considering this is going to really help them out in the Swiss draw and put them back up the standings. So it'll be a really good game tomorrow they're going to get against a strong team. Erdferkel, get some rest, get some beers, come back tomorrow, try again. I think that's probably the message for them. I think they're going to know that they've definitely got more to give, but they look like they ran out of legs today. So hopefully tomorrow's a new day. They can come back and attack the day again.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Well, I still really enjoyed this stream. It was a great game to watch. This will be the end of the mixed play for today. Next game on this stream will be Italy women's versus Switzerland women's. I've been Sarah Sparks, joined by Sean Colfer, and we will see you soon. Sorry.